I call the member for Penrith.
Speaker, I'm pleased to speak in support of the Local Government Amendment Employment Arrangements Bill 2024. It is one that has been keenly anticipated in the industry, in some instance, for the last 30 years. The measures proposed in this bill have been the subject of extensive consultation with all stakeholders in the local government sector by the Office of Local Government. Let's not forget it was a recommendation from an ICAC report to review the no reason termination provision of the Standard Contract of Employment for senior staff. The Office of Local Government issued a consultation paper on the proposed changes in September 2022. And put simply, the changes in this bill will mean councils in New South Wales are on the same position as most other employers in the country, who are required to have a valid and lawful reason to terminate the employment of their employees. This bill puts all council employees, except the General Manager, on the same footing, affording them all the principles of natural justice and procedural fairness. It is universally unfair to terminate the employment under the no reason termination provision of the statutory contract for senior staff. This action is very often not preceded by any sort of prior warning whatsoever for poor performance, inappropriate workplace conduct, or some other problem behaviour. It must be acknowledged that the changes were not universally supported by everyone in the sector. However, it is apparent that the concerns identified by those opposed to the changes are informed by a misunderstanding of how the local government state award applies to council senior executives. It is on this point, and it should perhaps be noted, that many councils already successfully employ their senior executives under the award and have no issue with its operation. So what are the misconceptions about the employment of senior council executives under the award? The Office of Local Government addresses these in its consultation paper. The first misconception is that employment under the award diminishes the accountability of executive level employees for their performance and the delivery of outcomes. This is not the case. The award encourages councils to consider developing enterprise key performance indicators which are specific to local needs, and to use these to develop performance targets for teams or individual employees. The second misconception is that councils cannot reward high performance under the award. Again, this is untrue. The award is the minimum rates award, which sets the minimum terms and conditions of employment at the industry level. In effect, it is the floor. Councils often can and do pay above the award minimum terms. The award does require councils to have a salary system. A council salary system represents the minimum award rates at the workplace level. Salary system rates of pay are only one component of the total reward that councils provide to their employees for their labour. Other components of the total reward include, for example, allowances, statutory benefits, e.g. superannuation, and above award payments and benefits, e.g. higher salary, performance bonuses, and additional leave. Provided the award minimums and relevant statutory requirements are met, as I stated earlier, councils have the flexibility to offer above award payments and other benefits to reward high performance. The third misconception is that councils cannot restructure senior management teams under the award. Again, this is not correct. Councils are free to restructure their operations under the award, subject to complying with minimum notification and consultation requirements. Subject to complying with the workplace change provisions of the award, where the restructuring of the council's operation results in staff becoming redundant, councils may terminate their employment with appropriate notice or payment in lieu of notice and a severance payment. The entitlement under the award for the redundant employee with 10 years or more service is 39 weeks, comprising of 5 weeks notice or payment in lieu of notice and 34 weeks severance. This is 1 week more than the maximum termination payment available under the current approved standard contract of employment for senior staff. The fourth misconception is that the award diminishes council's ability to take disciplinary action against executive level employees. Again, this is not correct. The award allows councils to undertake disciplinary action where employees' work performance or conduct is considered unsatisfactory, including summary dismissal in the case of serious misconduct. Penalties for unsatisfactory work performance or conduct include, but are not limited to, a demotion to a lower paid position or lower salary point or step, suspension without pay, and termination of employment. The fifth misconception is that senior council executives are employed under the award. Councils may be exposed to an increased risk of unfair dismissal proceedings. While it is correct that executive level employees covered by the award can access the IRC for relief from alleged unfair dismissal, it should also be noted that only 5% of unfair dismissal proceedings before the IRC actually result in reinstatement. The maximum monetary compensation that can be awarded by the IRC for unfair dismissal is 26 weeks, compared to the 38 weeks under the current approved standard contract of employment for senior staff. The IRC is a cost-effective and efficient mechanism for the resolution of disputes involving the termination of employment of executive-level employees compared to other available mechanisms. Speaker, in contrast to these misconceptions, the benefits of the changes proposed in this bill are self-evident. Although they don't apply to General Manager, they will provide all council employees procedural fairness, together with the security of being covered by the award and subject to the jurisdiction of the IRC, remove the insecurity in the employment of senior staff that makes them susceptible to improper pressure, ensures that all council employees have the same minimum terms and conditions of employment, assists with attracting and retaining executive level employees, especially in rural and regional areas, by giving councils flexibility to offer terms and conditions of employment that are not available under the current statutory contract, and more readily promote the development of talented council staff to take on leadership roles. It has been fundamentally unfair that senior staff have had absolutely no cost-effective remedy when sacked without cause. Speaker, I therefore have no hesitation in commending this bill to the House.
Speaker.